Hi everyone, and welcome to the Urban Investor, where I track my single income family of four's journey to FIRE, that's financial independence, retire early. In this video, I will review my March net worth, breaking down all my assets and liabilities, the month-to-month change, as well as how I am tracking against my FIRE number and 2021 financial goals. Please do check out my last video where I review my February income and expense report. So March was my worst monthly decline since I started tracking my journey. I lost 10k in value. Now you can imagine I was shocked like Will here, but I know financial independence is a journey and there will be many bumps in the road. So seeing the trend here gives me comfort as I am seeing that I'm moving in the right direction. So what drove the March performance? Before we move any further, let's recap how to calculate our net worth figure. So net worth is calculated as your assets minus your liabilities. It's simply what you own minus what you owe. Here are some examples of assets such as cash, property and gold. And for the purposes of my calculation, I'm only going to include big ticket items, so anything above £1,000 only. So what is my March net worth? As always, let's jump into my dashboard to see what's happened this month. Remember, this is just a snapshot at a point in time, so no doubt the figures will change tomorrow. Diving into my first tile, we can see that I've lost over 5% since last month, and now I am pretty much flat since I started the year. The reason for the drop is partially driven by the S&P 500, where my index fund lost 2k in value. You can see from the graphic it has been moving sideways in March. However, the main culprit for the drop is my property, where the value has dropped a whopping £14,000. Now, I know over the long term the value will go up, so I am not really too concerned about this. Now that 1/4 of the year is complete, it's a good idea to briefly reflect on how I'm tracking versus my 2021 financial goals, which I set at the start of the year. Now that 250k net worth target is clearly at risk. We have 9 months to go. I need a strong Q2 to give me a chance of hitting this target. Clearing my consumer debt and replacing my car leases are still on track, and I'll talk about these in a bit more detail later. Moving on to my assets, you can see my assets are heavily skewed towards my property, which accounts for 89% of my total. My index fund is flat to last month despite putting in another 2k into my fund, and this is driven by the S&P slowing down as we saw earlier. Crypto is an interesting one as I've added to my position another £200 in March. My average price is still around 25 pence per ADA or Cardano, so I am still in a good position having gotten in so early. I'm not sure what my strategy will be with ADA in terms of investing, but so long as the price is below £1, I will continue to accumulate. I really do feel this can really take off in the next 3 to 5 years. Finally, I continue to save cash as I plan to finally pay off my personal loan in one lump sum, which we will talk in a bit more detail in the next slide. Therefore, in summary, my assets stand at 528k. So moving on to liabilities, I've shown my long-term debts in the bars. Currently just my mortgage, and the scale for this is to the left. Again, I am pleased to continue to chip away at this balance and happy that I have a small overpayment that goes out at the start of every month to accelerate the reduction. The various lines on the graph show all my short-term or consumer debt, and the scale for this is towards the right. You can see the main month-for-month change being the silver line, which is my credit card debt. As with last month, you can see the change is a lot flatter as I've shifted focus to paying off my personal loan, which is a dark grey line. I really feel I'm in a position to pay this off next month, so hopefully you will see a massive downtrend shift towards the bottom. This all means my long-term debts stand at £344,000. Short-term debts falling to just over £15,000. So let's see how my assets and liabilities have impacted my net worth. You can see here how March was my biggest drop to date after a decent start to the year. My net worth now stands at approximately 168k. I'm confident I can move back into the green next month. Next up is my net worth milestones, which I track to help me stay motivated. It's still nice to break down my f.i.r.e number of 1.5 million into small, sizable chunks, as it makes the target less daunting and keeps me focused. I am 67% of the way to hitting that 250k milestone, which unfortunately is a 4% drop versus last time. Finally, I have pretty much, I'd say, the most important tile, which is my progress to f.i.r.e. Currently, I am 11% into this target, which is 1% down versus last month due to the drop in my property value. So there you have it, my March net worth. What do you guys think? Are you tracking your own net worth? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to follow my f.i.r.e journey here on YouTube. I've also set up an Instagram page, so please check me out there as well. Hopefully I'll